Here comes Success Coach Andy, the most beneficial advice program on the radio. For the next hour, you'll learn about success and happiness and how to take control of your life. And now, here's Success Coach Andy Shepherd.
This is Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching, here with you every Monday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. So, tonight I've got a very special guest, which is Brian G. Johnson, and I'm going to tell you more about him and who he is and what he's going to do in a minute. As you know, this show is all about success. This is all about your success. So what is success to me? What is success to you? Most of us think that success is all about the dollars. It's all about having a Rolls Royce, having a big mansion, and so on. These are symbols of success. This is what society has taught us. But everything that I'm sharing with you in these sessions is to get to be successful as quickly as possible and to really hone in and find out what your tailor-made success is. So, you know, I think that we're successful if we're living a happy life, when we're living life on our terms. And most of us are not doing that, unfortunately. Most of us are caught up in what we call the rat race. And, you know, I'm very fortunate because I managed to escape from it. And I've got a great number of friends who've done the same. So what I'm deciding to do now is to get them on as guests so they can share with you their secret sauce to success, what made them successful, what they feel is success to them. So I'll give you an example of this. I was in contact with a friend of mine who's in Germany. He looked at a short video that I'd done on the Queen Mary, and he'd been really inspired by some of the stuff that I'd said, and he said that he completely changed his mind about what success was. Because previously he said that what he'd been doing is he'd been looking at, you know, keeping up with other people and, you know, I need to have the best job and be in this position and have the best car and all the rest of it. And then he realized, no, this is not what it's about. Success is all about me doing the things that I want and really living things on his terms. And that's what he's done. He's doing great. He's decided to open, for example, a vegan restaurant in Germany with his wife, and he actually came over to LA and was going around and finding different restaurants as kind of inspiration to him. So I'm just so happy to hear this because, you know, that's what it is when you really living life and doing what you want to do, and then it's really not about the money, because if you're happy with what you're doing, then money's immaterial. Having said that, yes, you know, in the society that we live, we do need a certain amount of money to do great things and to go and to do the training we need to, or go to different countries to experience different cultures or whatever it is. So I'm not saying money is bad. That's not what it's about. And a lot of what I do and we're going to learn from other people is a way to get money. But I just want you to free yourself from this comprehension that I've got to have some amazingly posh thing, and when I've got $1 million, then I'm going to be happy. No, be happy now. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce tonight's guest. So tonight, this is a great honor. This is a great friend of mine that I'm introducing, Brian G. Johnson. Brian is a serial entrepreneur who's an engaging speaker. He really is. I've seen him in action. And this guy will do whatever it takes to get your attention and to get his point over. He'll do karate kicks, and he'll really keep you animated. I love this guy. He is also a #1 best-selling author. He's a nurturing mentor. And actually, he's a passionate poodle wrangler. Since 2008, Brian has coached tens of thousands of wealth seekers, many of whom are successfully generating life-changing income, which is great. Brian's high energy and zest for life translates well into his coaching programs where he breaks down the most important elements of many profitable online business traffic and conversions. His formulas are simple, his rituals are effective, and his techniques are easy to follow. And this is true. I've been reading a couple of his books. I've been reading Azon, and I've read all that. Fantastic. It's so clear what he writes in this book. He just puts it into... It makes you believe that you can do it because he gives you the knowledge in such a friendly way. Now I'm reading his latest, which is Trust Funnel, which is an absolutely brilliant book as well. So if you want more information about him, then you get a whole bunch of free training videos, wealth of knowledge about all sorts of stuff, then please go to www.marketingeasystreet.com. Let me say that again. So here's the website, so www.marketingeasystreet.com. Okay, so Brian, are you on the line?
I am indeed. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me, Andy.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Great to have you on the show. Thank you for coming. So,
fantastic.
So what would you say to my idea that basically success is not about specifically about the dollar signs? It's not about having the Bentley. It's not about having the mansion. These are just symbols that people get and say, okay, I'm successful. I've got this. What do you say to that? What is success to you?
To me, success is really what you touched upon, Andy, and that is having the freedom to be able to, walk through life, do the things I want to do, spend the time in the way I want to spend it, work as hard as I want, or maybe slack off for a couple months, and that's really how I work, too. I'll work real hard for a long time. I'll take a month off now, maybe once a year or so, or I can just decide, hey, I think I'm having a 3-day weekend, or maybe I'm going to really bust my butt and work hard and put in the hours because I'm enjoying the process. And I feel so grateful that I'm able to do that. And I actually quit my job as a professional chef in 2003, so it's been a long time. It's been 11 years now full-time as an online entrepreneur, and I'm blessed to be able to, to make money online and then just kind of call the shots.
I agree. It's all about having the flexibility of time. I think this is so important to be able to. I think this is what's one fundamental thing that is so difficult to having a normal job, because we have to be at a place at a certain time, and we have to finish at a certain time, and we have to perform. And it's like, if you're in the mood or you're not, it doesn't matter. You still got to do it, and you've got to have the holidays when they say. And it's really soul destroying. I've done many years of this as well, and it's terrible. And as a solopreneur, we work pretty hard. We do 6 days a week, but we do it with joy because we love what we're doing. And if we've got something that if we're feeling off, I see this many times with my friends. They just say, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm going to take the day off. And our friend Joel Comey does that from time to time, and then everybody goes off. And I think, have you done the same, Brian?
What's interesting is I have done the same, and in the last year, I've gotten a lot better at it, and the reason why is a lot of times when this would happen, I would sit in front of that damn computer and I'd be like, well, you got to do some work today, and you got to be productive, and so you sit and it's kind of like you almost torture yourself. At least for me, this is my personal experience. Is I wouldn't really work, but I'd be sitting at the computer, and I might get a little bit done, but gosh, if I hung out an afternoon, I certainly didn't get 3 or 4 hours worth of work done. So now, if I'm not feeling it, I'll be like, I could sit here for 3 or 4 hours and get a half an hour's worth of work done, or I could just give myself a break and take the afternoon off. So I'll do that sometimes.
That's fantastic. I agree. That's what I do as well. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Tonight, my special guest is Brian G. Johnson. Brian is a serial entrepreneur, speaker, product creator, #1 best-selling author, and mentor. For more information about Brian, for free training videos and a wealth of knowledge and much, much more, go to www.marketingeasystreet.com. That's www.marketingeasystreet.com. So let's continue talking to Brian about his secrets to success. This is the thing where we're feeling guilty that we should be working, and so we're just doing. It's like we're just pretending to be busy, and it's just to stop our guilt, which is ridiculous. And the best thing to do is to just take a break. And there's lots of things that can be going on which are causing us not to be productive. For example, there's things called biorhythms, and this is something that anybody who's interested in this, you can find an app on Android. You probably find it on iPhone as well. Just look up biorhythms. What it's about is you have, like, when you're born, then these cycles start, and you've got a physical cycle, emotional cycle, intellectual, and intuitive, I think, something like this. I can't remember. There's 4 cycles, and I learnt about this when I was many, many years ago, and I thought it was absolute hogwash. But now and again, if I'm feeling out of sorts, I'll go and look at it, and my biorhythms are all over the place. And these are the days that we need to just go and take a break. Have you heard of biorhythms, Brian?
No, I actually have not. No.
Right. Okay. Well, that's something to look at. So, there is a kind of a something that you can see, and it'll give proof, right? This is legitimate. I mean, I'm feeling this way because of these cycles, and it's kind of interesting.
Indeed.
So tell me more about what your successes have been in life, and what has meant success to you.
Well, for me, a couple things. Marrying my wife Amanda would be #1. That was pretty awesome. I mean, we have an amazing relationship. I love her to death. We're best friends. She's super supportive, and I get to watch her just really excel at her career, and we're great partners. So that's really, having a relationship like that means the world to me. So I'm really thankful for that. And another thing that I'm proud of, and I feel has made me successful, is the fact that I was able to quit that job that I mentioned, and I did that by just kind of tinkering online, and following my interests. And I always was very entrepreneurial ever since I was a young boy. I can remember sitting in class daydreaming about, like, working for myself, because none of the stuff I kept hearing about sounded interesting. I think just having that freedom and just being a little different than most people. So I think that's something that, I kind of consider a success. And today, I think probably one of the biggest joys I get, I think that I'll land on this third one, is really being able to help and coach others to earn money online so they can have the freedom that they're looking for, whether it's to quit a job, whether they're looking to maybe work, 5 or 10 hours a week to supplement an income, or to save for a vacation or a new car, or whatever the case may be. I've had the chance to help and guide and coach many, many people, and to see others succeed, to see them start with something where they're really not sure, and oftentimes, I would say, a very high percentage of the time, people are nervous, they're unsure, they're not sure how to get started, and to be able to let people know that it's possible, to give them the tools to move forward, and then to see them do that has been so incredibly gratifying. I talk about that a lot. It's really the 3 things that motivate me are: I want to have fun in what I do, I want to help people succeed, and I want to, make money in the process of doing that. And that's pretty neat to be able to do that, So I feel very blessed and very successful in that fact.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. I mean, there's a couple of things points. I mean, relationship is everything. I've got a very special lady that I'm sharing a great part of my life with now, and this just gives us I mean, it's been a long time coming, and when you really find somebody special, it really does help. And talking about studying as well. I mean, I remember at school it was such a drag, and now I'm just a sponge. There's just so much knowledge that I've got I need to learn, and there's so much studying I'm doing, reading books, your books, for example, and there's all sorts of things that I want to learn about and need to, and it's exciting. And I just I wish that I could have learned something more directly interesting directly important to what I really wanted to do. And you've got set subjects, and it's like they're as boring as hell, but you've got to learn them, and it's a disaster. So anyway, the other point you were saying was, about helping people, and that really lights you up when you're able to help, and that's how I feel as well. I mean, when somebody comes around like Dave did, and he said, you really made an impact with some of our conversations, and that changed my life, and I'm going in a different direction now. It's like, that just lights me up, and I get that, at least once or twice a day now, and I just love that, and that to me is success, when I can help somebody else to follow their dreams. So we talked about internet marketing. So this is something that you help other people with, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. When I started out, my goal was to quit my job. I guess it was to quit my job. I just, one of the things I'll say is, you mentioned, Andy, as far as the learning and being interested. I was really interested in the Internet. I was really interested in being an entrepreneur. I was interested in kind of doing this kind of a thing, and I got started, and really I just figured out ways to make money. I built websites and made money with advertising through the AdSense program. I sold so many different things, and I made money as an affiliate marketer. I sold Halloween costumes. I sold tractors, trailers. I sold motorcycle parts. I sold textbooks. I sold just a huge amount of different things, web hosting, software. And I really didn't start teaching people until later, and I kind of just continued with this learning and education of the different ways to make money online. And I got to a point where it's like I had learned a lot of different ways, and I wanted still something more, like you were talking of, Andy. And I decided that I would create my own products, because I had seen other people doing that. And I bought some products, and it didn't seem anything that I couldn't come up with or put together. And I kept it really simple. And I think this has been one of the central themes of the success I've had over the years. If you read a book like Trust Funnel, there's a lot of information in there. There really is. But at the same time, it's broken down, and I really try to simplify things as much as possible. When you look at internet marketing, it's not really a simple subject. There's so much, and you can continue to learn and learn and learn. But at the end of the day, if you really focus on what's most important and you prioritize your efforts, and you do a pretty darn good job at the most important stuff, you're going to get pretty good results. And so I started getting those results. I started to simplify, and then I taught other people kind of the methods I had learned, and that's how I got started with teaching and coaching and whatnot. So it's just really been about, discovery and learning and figuring out how to get results, and I still do that. I published the book Trust Funnel because I had never published a book with a publisher before. I'd done self-publishing. I created my own websites. I've done tons of different websites. I've done the AdSense program. I've made money in a lot of different ways, my own products, but I had never published a book. So I just kind of continue to this day of trying new things and whatnot. And that's a lot of fun. And another thing I'm really grateful for is that I can do that today.
Right. Yes. And I believe, your publisher, I think, is Morgan James, and they took Brendan Bouchard to. He published with them and went to #1 New York Times bestseller, and I think Joel Comm did the same, who's a friend of ours, didn't he?
Joel Comm, Jeff Walker just went number one with his book, and he's at Morgan James as well. So really great company to work with, great publisher. David Hancock's a great guy. A great sense of humor, but a big heart, and really wants good things for the author as well as for the company. So it was a really easy decision, and it's been a pleasure.
A lot of people talk about internet marketing, and everybody wants to, it seems that there's lots of people who think, oh, your internet, you can make lots of money, and then they go and find some website and it says, oh, pay this and you can go and get rich quick and on all this, and it's such we both know it's not like that. It doesn't, there is money to be made, and if you follow a series of steps, and you can make good money. But it's just, there's so much false stuff out there. So we've not got much time, but can you give a few ideas of what people should look for and what they should steer clear of? And and it is possible to make money online, obviously, isn't it?
Yeah. You do raise a really good point, and it can be treacherous. It's an industry where there's a lot of people making a lot of claims, and the thing that I always point people to is try to find and follow people that are actively doing what they're teaching. And if you really study people, it's kind of easy to see, this is a program about making websites and making money as an affiliate. Is the person, teaching me this, are they actively doing it? And a lot of times, unfortunately, the answer is no. And if you can stop and slow down enough and really evaluate an opportunity and the person or the people behind it, you're going to get a clear indication of what the training contains. Because if someone isn't, you can go in and you can do some research and you can write a report about something you kind of know about but not really. But the difference between that and someone that's actually done it and actually gotten results and actually can take people through the process.
Okay. Well, we could talk about this. Is a huge subject we just went into. So thank you so much for being on the show, Brian. We've been talking to tonight's special guest, Brian G. Johnson. Brian is a serial entrepreneur, speaker, product creator, #1 best-selling author, and mentor. For more information about Brian, for free training videos, a wealth of knowledge, and much more, go to www.marketingeasystreet.com. That's www.marketingeasystreet.com. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching. Tune in next Monday at 9 p.m. for more Success Coach Andy. You're listening to Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.